actually get started on hands and knees, tabletop pose. Make sure I have this set up here so you can see me okay. And once you are in tabletop pose, we'll take a few scapular push-ups, right? So this idea that we're in tabletop pose, but then you let your upper body sort of just sink down. Nothing else really changes. And you're not lifting your head and rounding your tailbone up towards the sky like you would in full cow pose, but you're just letting your upper body sort of just like sink, right? It's like you can feel your shoulder heads almost just, they stay exactly where they are, but your torso, your upper body, your chest just sinks down. And you like let gravity do a little bit of work, and you can squeeze your shoulder blades together and then press into your hands. Your upper back lifts up a little bit more. Okay. And do that a few times. So let the upper body, the chest sink, and then let the space in between your shoulder blades almost engage in a different way as you pull them apart. Do that one more time. Down and up. I believe we did this last session, more or less, a few times. And then give your wrists a break. Walk your hands up, your thighs come up onto your knees, and step your right foot forward into an easy lunge, not a super, super deep lunge, just an easy lunge here. And then reach both hands up overhead. Big breath in. And take your right hand, wrap it around your left wrist, and then lean over to the right. So you start to create a little bit more of a side body bend here. And then you'll come up. Take a breath in, release the hands, reach straight up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down towards the ground. Start to pull your hips back a bit and see if you can lift your right toes up just for a half. We call it Hanumanasana, but it's like a half split, right? Obviously, we're not going to go like the full way here, but it's just a nice hamstring stretch, and you can keep that right knee bent. You're getting the same action in the back of the right leg. See if you can pull that right hip back. I like to grab blocks here. If you don't have them handy, that's totally fine. But if you do, also an option. Take one more big breath in and a big breath out. And then you'll bend into that right knee again. And come up again to that sort of lunge stance. Now turn your back toes, your left toes, over to the right and bring your right forearm to your right thigh here. Reach your left hand up towards the sky. And then I want you to almost lean over to the right here. You can lean into that right forearm. That's okay here because the goal is the stretch along the left side of the body. And then if you want, you could even drape that arm over the top of your head. You can like find a little bit different of a stretch here by thinking about turning your heart up a little more. That rotation might not be so big. That's okay. It's thinking about spinning almost like your bottom lung forward and up a bit, even if it's slight. And then you'll come back. Take your arms out like a T here. So just this like modified warrior two stance. And then if you want, you can drop your left hand down towards the back of your mat. Start to lengthen that right leg and place the sole of your right foot on the ground. Reach your right hand up to the sky and then reach your right arm alongside your ear. So lots of side body lengthening here on both sides in all directions. Press down through that right foot. Can you reach through your right fingertips? Take one more big breath in. So nice. And then you'll come back up. Now, one more time here, you'll drop your right hand down, left arm will rise. This is gate pose. You can start to look up towards your left fingertips. Take one more big breath in. And then you'll come back to long arms. Just come back to tabletop pose, right in the middle of your mat, right where you started. Now you get to take a traditional cow cat. So drop your belly, think lifting the tailbone, looking forward, maybe thinking about drawing your heart forward. And then exhale, press into your hands actively, round your upper back, drop your head. 2 more rounds like that. Inhale to find cow. Exhale to find cat. Last one on your own. And you'll come back to neutral. Walk your hands up your thighs. And this time it's your left foot that steps forward to that lunge. Reach both hands up when you're ready. Stay firm in that left big toe. That can be your anchor here as you wrap left hand around your right wrist. Reach up first and then lean to the left. You start to initiate that side body lengthening from your hip all the way up in between your ribs. And then you'll reach back up. And then bring your hands down. If you have those blocks, awesome, grab them. If not, no big deal. You'll just start to send your hips back and pick up your left toes. That left leg can stay long, or I like to personally keep the knee bent so my stance isn't as wide, but I still can pull that left hip back in space a little bit more. Keeping the hips nice and square. Take a breath in to stay and a breath out. And then you'll climb back forward, bending into that left knee. Reach both hands back up, big breath in. Now it's your back toes, your right toes turning off to the left side of your mat. So then you can find that sort of like warrior two, modified warrior two stance. You'll drop your left forearm to your left thigh, reach right arm alongside your ear, and then even right fingertips reach forward as you lean to your left. Like you're tipping towards the front of your mat. Maybe drape that right arm over top of your head. Maybe start to think about lifting the elbow a little more, spinning the chest up. Can feel really nice opening in the sides. For me, in this space, even across the front of the hip, the side of the hip, can be really nice. And then you'll come up to long arms here, arms like a T. You'll drop your right hand down and lengthen that left leg. Stamp that foot on the ground, like really firmly, and reach your left fingertips up. And then reach them towards the back, like your left arm alongside your left ear. Can you reach away from your left toes? One more inhale. Full exhale. You'll slowly come up. Now it's dropping your left hand down the leg, reach your right hand up to the sky. Gate pose. And take one more big breath in. Then out. And come back up to long arms. And then you'll bring yourself back to that tabletop position. And then 3 rounds of cat-cow on your own here. So inhaling to find cow, exhaling to round into cat. Excellent. Now tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We won't be here too long, and you can even bend your knees a lot. Maybe pedal up the feet so you get a nice stretch through the calves one at a time. So bending one knee a lot, Pressing one heel down and then the other. And then nice and slow, just walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees a lot here. And then you can either walk your hands up your thighs to slowly rise, or let your hands just like drape down. Let gravity do a little bit of work as you slowly come up one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. And then take mountain pose for a moment. Just turn your palms forward. Feel your shoulder heads almost draw towards one another and down. The shoulder blades draw down. Take a full breath in. Maybe even open up your mouth, letting out a sigh. Ah. And start to, when you're ready, reach your arms up and overhead. Big breath in. Start to bend your right elbow. And you're going to let your right hand come right behind your head, or let it follow your spine and land in between your shoulder blades. So your hand just kind of rests right there. And then either your left hand can come here to the top of your elbow. I like this because I feel like I can access a little bit more mobility this way. Or if you want, you can take what's called a half bind with that left arm. So you'll spin your palm back, thumb pointing down, bend the elbow there, and then you can wrap that arm around you here. Sometimes it's nice to have a strap handy. So if you don't have one, that's totally fine. I don't even have one with me as well, but I like to take that half bind here or the hand to the top of the elbow, okay? And take a breath in. Can you lift the elbow up a little higher? And then at the same time, can you draw the back of your head back to find a little bit more length, right? Rather than your head just dropping forward, think about the back of your head drawing back. If you want a little bit more, you can tip over to the left. Take one more breath in. Come back up if you're tipped, and then arms out and down. Take a roll of the shoulders, both directions, maybe wiggle the arm. Now take the arms out like a T again, and wrap right arm underneath the left. And you can either bring your hands to your shoulders to give yourself a hug, or find eagle arms here. So again, the tendency is for your shoulders to draw up. See if you can draw them down your back here. You can stay here or wrap right leg on top of the left, eagle pose. So you're just like all wrapped up. Just to play with balance. I like to even bring that right big toe to the ground for support. Take a big breath in and out. And then you'll unravel it all. Sweep the arms up, big inhale. Now it's the left elbow that bends. And that hand can come right in between your shoulder blades. Right hand can grab onto that left elbow, or you can find that half bind behind your back here with that right arm. Take a breath in to stand up nice and tall. Same idea, the back of your head presses back. You can stand even taller. Full breath in to fill up, and a breath out to soften something. And if you want, even tip over to the right here. Come back up, unravel the arms, roll the shoulders, wiggle the arms a bit, and then arms come out like a T, and you find those eagle arms first on the other side. So left arm under, either grabbing like you're giving yourself a little hug here, grabbing onto the shoulders, or lift the fingertips. Maybe I like to grab onto a thumb here, or just open the palm. And then think about shoulder blades down and back. Maybe you balance on that right foot, just wrap the left leg on top. Big toe can root down. That feels good. Take a breath in and out. See if you can soften the face if you're holding tension there. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, unravel it all, shake it all out, maybe even take a few circles with the arms in both directions. Reach up when you're ready, big breath in. And then walk the hands down to the ground, walk them forward, back to downward facing dog. Bending the knees a lot. You're just here for a breath in to rise up to your toe. And then a breath out, return the knees, tabletop pose. One round of cat-cow, breath in to drop the belly, lift the chest. A breath out to round the spine. That should feel really nice. Like press, press, press that space in between your shoulder blades up towards the sky. And then come back to neutral. Come to a seat. You'll bring your legs around in front of you. You can bring the soles of your feet together, the knees out wide for a moment for Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. And you can bring your hands to your ankles, your shins, or your knees, whatever allows you to sit up nice and tall as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, think about your heart going beyond the front of your mat first. As you start to feel your pelvis just like tilt a little bit forward, your hips initiate that fold here, and then you get to round. Maybe drop the head or just gaze to that space in front of your toes. To keep the back of the neck nice and long, take a breath in and out. 2 more. Breathe in and out. Last one. And you'll slowly come up. Make sure you have enough space behind you. If you want to take a pillow underneath of the back of your heart to have a little bit more opening across the chest as you rest, also an option. But if not, you can just make your way all the way onto your back. And once you're there, bend your knees to start. Take your feet nice and wide, knock your knees together. And take your arms out like a T if you have the space. Your arms can also be down along your sides, or you can bend at the elbows. Your choice. Just find what's comfortable for the shoulder blades. The back of the head is heavy. Keep the feet wide and just separate the knees. Let both knees fall over to the right. And just a gentle twist here. You'll come back up to center. Let both knees fall over to the left. And back to center. You can hug your knees into your chest. And give yourself a little squeeze, maybe even a rock side to side. And then find a place of rest here. We're not here too long, but just enough so your body can sort of just find a reset before you move on to the next part of your day. Just a moment of stillness. Take a big breath in. Even slower breath out, maybe even open the mouth as you do so. A few like that, becoming aware of how slow you can breathe in how slow you can exhale. And allow your next breath to fill all the way up to the top. Slight pause, and then open up your mouth. Slow exhale out to empty. Start to find a little bit of movement, the fingers and toes, the wrists, the ankles. You can roll to the side of your choice and just slowly press yourself up to a seat. And once you're there, sit up tall, take a few rolls of the shoulders, both directions. Maybe a roll of the head, the neck. And if you'd like, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart here and just bow your chin towards that space, taking a moment to pause and give yourself a little bit of love and send some gratitude towards yourself for making the time to move your body, to breathe. Maybe even just choosing an intention or a word to carry you through the rest of your day, whether that's breath, patience, awareness. Let that word be personal to you. Take one more breath in, calming breath out. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with